Why, hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there, YouTubes. How the devil are we all today? I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. Now, before we get on to anything, let's take a moment to appreciate the beard. Majestic. Wonderful. So today we're doing the Trump dump. Rory cats. I'm doing a video. No, there's no time for chicken. We're not doing chicken now. I've got this video to do, Rory cats. Anyways, no, it's actually just me, Tim. Hello. I've broken character now. I'm not Kevin.
Yes. And we're back to being normal, so. Yes.
I hope that was a serviceable Kevin Logan. I apologize.
I couldn't mute myself. Otherwise, we'd be in. So it ended up being.
You couldn't tell the difference, could you?
No, for me, I got shivers. That was it. I was sitting here trying not to laugh and just being like, wow, it's like he's in the room.
Yep. Character acting. All right, let's continue.
Yeah, hey everyone, it's Kristi, and we're doing the episode of Trump Dump this week. Tim and I will have taken it over and we'll be joined shortly by the third person who's going to be helping us out this week. The way that we have decided to divvy up the booty, the treasure that is Trump Dump, is that I am the feminist queen, right? Everybody has to do what I say, so I got 3 days. I got the most.
Winters! That's another good one.
Then Tim got 2 days, and our third guest, if he does arrive, will be finishing out the show. So what we are going to do is do a summary of each sort of segment, and then we'll wrap it up. And I get to start. I mean, first of all, this week has been crazy. There's been so much happening this week that it feels like a lifetime ago that this happened, and I forgot the Schadenfreude that I was experiencing this time last week, Friday. Because after 7 years of going on about what a disaster Obamacare was and promising their base and the American people that they would repeal the Obamacare bill, the Republicans, in their first major piece of legislation as a governing party, utterly failed to get the votes necessary to pass, even though they have enough votes to pass the bill. There is so much internal division within the Republican Party that Paul Ryan, despite the fact that Trump and the Trump White House had been promising that this bill was going to be voted on Friday, despite the fact that Steve Bannon went into the Freedom Caucus meeting and said to them, basically, this isn't a debate, this isn't a deliberation, you will vote for this bill. They said no. They gave him the big old bird, the middle finger. They didn't care at all. And
well, the Freedom Caucus, they're the same people who shut down the government, right? Or yeah.
Yes. And rather than publicly humiliating themselves with a failing vote for their Obamacare replacement, instead Paul Ryan called Trump and pulled the bill. And so this basically put Trump in a bad mood that he's still in a week later. He's still sore about this vote that happened a week ago today. And so that was really the dominating story on Friday. Now, over the weekend, the president didn't get up to too much. He went golfing in Virginia, I believe, this time. I do have here, just to show everybody, the headlines here. There we go. Look at that. Republicans pull healthcare bill. I just want to make that my desktop background. It's lovely until the next one comes along.
And what day was that on? That was
Friday. That was just one day. And on Saturday, he went golfing. Although what was really funny about Saturday was that Fox News had a major breaking alert. Was going to be working all weekend long. So it says, if you can't read it because it's a bit small here, President Trump spending weekend working at the White House, juxtapositioned against him on social media at a Virginia golf course. So there we go. Lord. President hard at work, spending our tax dollars on Secret Service yet again. So the other things that happened, again, Trump has just been lashing out at a lot of people because of the problems with the healthcare bill. And on Saturday or late Friday night, he tweeted out that everyone should watch Judge Jeannie on Fox News, which was kind of weird because that Friday night, she opened her show. So it would have been Friday night he tweeted this. That Paul Ryan should resign as Speaker of the House. He should step down. And everyone thought,
Hello.
well, maybe now Trump is all up in this, like getting rid of Paul Ryan. So that was embarrassing because they had to say, no, we didn't know that segment was coming on. And we don't, it was just really unnecessary forced error on behalf of the Trump administration yet again. The other thing that happened, oh yes, he also, again, being very bitter, tweeted out that Democrats are smiling in DC, that the Freedom Caucus, with the help of Club for Growth and Heritage,
Hey, that's my day.
have saved. Okay, well that's okay. You're right. No, the 27th is mine. That was Saturday.
Isn't 27th? That was Monday, right?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it is. It's Monday.
It looked like the date changed compared to America and here. I was real confused because I thought like. Actually, no, that's me getting it wrong. I was looking at the wrong year. No, ignore me.
Then I retract my. I didn't mean to step all over your stuff.
How dare you?
So that was basically it. Trump was being cranky because basically the bill he promised that was going to cover everybody and was going to be cheaper and it was going to be great health care for everyone. They couldn't even get the votes to get it out of the House. So hey, our third special guest, our third Sputskateer.
He made it.
What's up, homies? What up?
Hey.
What? Oh, geez. Hi. How's it going?
Well, I also read, though, that Trump was more conciliatory in his tweets over the weekend, just like, well, we tried, and, it could have been okay, and, what a shame. And then on Monday, he went to war, and he was like, we must destroy them, destroy the Freedom Caucus.
I think what happened, my speculation, is that there was news coverage that came out about what happened inside the decision-making process, and over the weekend, he read that coverage and got mad again.
And he got pissed off.
Yeah, I think so.
But in the weekend, he was like a bit more chill. He was a bit more relaxed,
Yeah, see, I had something
when
about
he was out on
Freedom
the golf
Caucus as
course.
well.
Yeah, maybe he was out golfing, so he was feeling a bit better.
Yeah.
But then when he woke up on Monday, he was like, Freedom Caucus, destroy, must kill.
I did have a special segment, though, that I worked up here, which is an examination of some of the tweets in reaction to the healthcare bill melting down. Would you like to see some of what Vanity or some, I don't know, online magazine that's going to be linked in the description box below? This was their take.
Yes.
Right? So, now, that was actually a GIF, so I had to wait for the right moment to do the screen cap, and that was it.
Nice.
The GOP canceled the healthcare bill before the House voted. It seems fitting, as the only birth control their plan covered was pulling out. Who knew healthcare would be so complicated? Oh, this got clipped badly. This is a Hamilton line for those of you. Such a blunder. Sometimes it makes me wonder why I even bring the thunder.
Yeah, baby.
Poor
Do you want to
guy.
drop a beat and you can do that?
What did you just spit on the? Did you just spit on the mic?
That's how you beatbox, man. You just spit on the mic, right? That's how it
That
works.
sounded like a horsey. All right, so yeah, he had more than 44 in the majority, and I thought this would upset a lot of people who are easily would take these the wrong way. Just goes to show what happens when you give a man a woman's job. That's passing him.
Oh shit.
So stall travel ban, wiretap lie revealed, investigation on Russia ties, healthcare debacle. Trump must be really getting tired of all this winning. And I think this is the last one. This is Democrats reacting. YouTubers will get this meme.
Obama face. That Obama face is amazing.
So everyone knows the clip of like the reaction to the burn or whatever it was, and yeah.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, sorry, this was the last one. I'm gonna mammogram the shit out of tomorrow. So there we go. Those were my tweets of the day.
That's funny.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, he has to work with the Freedom Caucus in the upcoming tax plan thing, and if he's going to war with them, they're just not going to work with him, and there could be more government shutdowns. There could be all kinds of problems. He's going to have to kind of capitulate to them if he's going to want to get anywhere.
So
is he capable of doing that?
Just as a question, because I don't know anything about politics. So the Freedom Caucus for like a more far right sort of contingent of the government. Is that what?
Correct.
Yeah,
they're like
there's
a
like
caucus within
30-something of them.
Party.
What's that, Kristi?
They're like a caucus within a caucus. They're the most extreme right or the most fiscally rigorous conservative sort of
Gotcha.
small government types, and they've decided
So
to form
Trump's
a bloc
annoyed at
in order to.
Yeah.
Well, basically,
right.
they decided that the main caucus for the Conservatives wasn't conservative enough and that it was getting too big. So they made a smaller one called the Freedom Caucus, which is more conservative. And they were actually the group involved with shutting down the government with Obama.
Gotcha.
So them, they were like,
And this is
we're going to shut down the government if we don't get what we want. So they're very intransigent and difficult to work with. And I think if Trump tries to go to war with them, it's just going to like fuck up his presidency even more. So he should.
Yeah, well, he
needs to
tweeted about them in my segment as well. So he's obviously still going on at them.
He's starting a very foolish fight, but he is incompetent and a moron, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not a fight he should start, anyways.
Well,
Yeah.
for a man who thinks he can negotiate, he doesn't understand what these guys want. And these guys answer to their constituents, and they come from some of the most gerrymandered districts in the country. So they've got the most conservative people in their districts. Those people don't want to see Obama light in their eyes, So
Yeah.
if Trump doesn't understand that, he shouldn't be in politics. You can't bully
And-
your way into a
Yeah,
compromise.
they're very, very stubborn individuals as well.
Oh,
They've got that whole like "don't tread on me" kind of thing. They're like, if the president is trying to push us around, like, we'll show you, boy. We're gonna show you good.
Yeah, these guys aren't
That's what's gonna
politicians. They're ideologues. Like they're believers.
Exactly.
They believe in the free market. They think it's like a force of nature.
But I didn't appreciate the way the president was speaking to me.
Yeah, that guy.
You're not coming for my guns, Mr. Trump. That's my impersonation of the Freedom Caucus.
That was good.
There you go.
That was good. All 30 of them at the same
Not as good
time.
as your Kevin, but pretty good.
That's true.
I liked your Kevin. That was good.
Winters.
What you were watching and you went on?
I couldn't. Like I said, we're having
Yeah,
real
I know,
big
I know,
internet
I know.
troubles at the moment. So
Anyways, so that's the weekend.
That's the weekend, and now I'm handing it over to that guy, Tim.
That guy T. Monday,
That's it.
27th of March, day 67. I've written down some notes here. Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who was set to lead the Office of American Innovation, which was created by Trump to reduce federal bureaucracy, will testify before the Senate Intelligence Committee as part of an investigation into Russian interference in the U.S. presidential election. Kushner met with Russian Ambassador Sergei, I can't say this, Kishlyak, who also met with former security advisor Michael Flynn, who was forced to resign for misleading Vice President Pence on his own discussions with the ambassador. Kushner is married to Ivanka Trump, and he also inherited a real estate business from his father, Charles Kushner. On Monday, Congressman Ted Poe resigned from the Freedom Caucus because I think, he supported Trump early on, and he was disappointed that they couldn't work with Trump. And then Reince Priebus, he said, it might be time to get moderate Democrats on board. So Reince is basically sending out a message like, we're kind of fucked if we don't get some Democrats because these goddamn Republicans are impossible to work with. And that, I don't know if that goes counter to what Trump is saying. If you look at this tweet on the screen, Democrats are smiling in DC with the Freedom Caucus.
Oh, but they can't see it. They can't see it unless I talk. So what I can do is lock my screen. And now are you going to do a bunch of tweets? So tell me, I'm going to lock the screen so you can only see my screen. And then when you're done, tell me and I'll take it off.
Well, so Trump is saying Democrats are smiling in DC that the Freedom Caucus, with the help of the Club for Growth and Heritage, have saved Planned Parenthood and Obamacare. So on Monday, Trump is like going to war with the Democrats and the Freedom Caucus. And on the very same Monday, his chief of staff, Reince Priebus, said it might be time to get moderate Democrats on board. So they are completely separate from each other in their messaging. Trump is way off somewhere else. Reince Priebus is like, we got to try to work with people. Donald Trump is like, fuck people. Working with people, fuck that. We're going to war. Reince Priebus is like, dude, maybe you should chill. And so Kushner will be questioned about his meetings with Russia's Bank. I can't really say that. Or the VEB Bank. He's had close workings with this bank. And also his Office of American Innovation is going to be working with the private sector to fuck up regulations and destroy the environment and do whatever they can to make the government more privatized and fuck the people. And that's what he's going to be doing. But I don't know. Kushner's going to be talking to the Senate Intelligence Committee. So that's the main thing that's happening on Monday. What's the other tweet they've got?
Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
It sounded like when you said Mike Pence, it sounded like you said Mike Pants. Oh no, you said Vice President Pants, and I was like, lol.
Yes, he's in a fight with Vice President Pence, and that got him in trouble. So the other tweet is General Kelly is doing a great job at the border. General Kelly is I forgot who he is, Secretary of something or other. Numbers are way down. Many are not even trying to come in anymore. And I actually read about this, and apparently it's true that the immigration numbers are down by like 40% or something in January and February. But the article that I read also said that they're not entirely sure if it's because of Trump, because apparently they've increased security on the Mexican side of the border. So it could be due to reforms they're doing in Mexico. Maybe that's a reaction to Trump. I'm not really sure. But apparently the numbers are down, which is kind of random. Maybe they just like don't want to go to America because it's such a fucking dump now. I don't know. I'm not sure the reason specifically. But apparently that was vaguely accurate, which is weird.
Yeah, it's been trending downwards. I think, well, one of the big changes over time has been the Mexican economy has gotten better. And so especially after the financial crisis, there was a drop off in the rates of people crossing the border. They're not just Mexicans, of course. They're people from all over, and the borders.
Well, yeah. Apparently in 2015, under Obama, the rate of immigration into America was like minus 1 million per year. So it was already going backwards. Like there's already apparently, Mexicans are immigrating at much lower rates, and they're actually slowly fading, which is, it took a very long time because there's so many people.
It's because they realized how much of an authoritarian Muslim Obama was, so they decided to stop coming.
Exactly. Well, right after this, Trump tweeted that everyone should thank him because the sun rose again. So he takes credit for basically things that he has nothing to do with.
But the article said that there was some changes going on the Mexican side of the border. But I guess, make America so unpalatable and so unwelcoming and so horrible that people won't want to go there. I mean, if that's the way you want to roll, fair enough, I suppose.
We're going to pollute the rivers and the waterways, and we're going to remove your health care. We're going to destroy any kind of union protections. And
they'll be like, hey,
like nothing.
Mexican people will be like, I want to go to America to have a better life. Oh, God, look at that place. No, I'm staying here. Fuck that.
All right, so
next day, Tuesday. On the 28th of March 2017, day 68, Donald Trump signs an executive order to dismantle Obama's climate change legacy. He signed a order called the Energy Independence Executive Order. The order will undermine America's commitment to the Paris Agreement signed in 2016 dealing with greenhouse gases. The plan encourages nations to reduce their greenhouse gas footprint in order to keep the global average increase of temperature below 2 degrees Celsius. And Trump was like, fuck that. Fuck this earth. Trump's executive order would rescind a moratorium on the sale of coal mining leases on federal land. So he's really been pushing coal. He's big on the coal. It's the energy of the future. It also sets in motion a review of Obama's clean power plan. So he's trying to undermine that. It's basically like, hey, we got to get polluting if we want to get great again. Trump has praised coal, and he's given lip service to coal miners who gathered at his speech before signing the order. The order continues a wider battle Trump is waging on the EPA, or Environmental Protection Agency, which he's been doing everything he can to defund and get rid of. Trump's order seeks to rescind or review more than half a dozen measures in an effort to boost domestic energy production. That was from the article. So I think they're just trying to be positive about that, as well as opening up fracking. Yeah, good news. But while he was doing that, signing this executive order to fuck the environment up, he was tweeting this. So is that on the screen?
Oh yeah, it's been up the whole time.
Why isn't the House Intelligence Committee looking into the Bill and Hillary deal that allowed big uranium to go to Russia? And now the thing is, some of us may have forgotten what uranium is all about. I certainly struggle with it. It's very complicated, but luckily we have an explanation from Trump himself. So if you don't know what uranium is, this is why it's so important.
So I just want to say we've done a lot of tech prep before this. We didn't do a sound check, but I did a little bit of a sound prep before we go on here. So if it's a little too quiet, just go louder.
You know what uranium is, right? This thing called nuclear weapons and other things, like lots of things are done with uranium, including some bad things.
Okay, so that gives us an idea of what uranium is all about. Basically,
yeah,
it's nuclear and things like that, and it's sort of, it could be used for bad things. And that's why it's important that they look into Bill and Hillary. Next one.
I'm just thinking he should have gone into writing children's books.
Money to build, so Russian money to build, the Hillary Russian reset, which that has nothing to do with what he's talking about. It's just some random other thing that he's just being a dick, just like piling on. Oh, by the way, the reset, that was lame. Praise of Russia by Hillary, or Podesta Russian company. Trump Russia story is a hoax. Make America great again. Which I think, like, when you're in the middle of signing an executive order to rescind like dozens of, or half a dozen of measures that protect the environment, it's a good idea to just tweet about Bill and Hillary, who aren't the president or first lady or first man or anybody. They're just random people who lost the election. But it kind of worked for him in the election, just constantly deflect to, you know, Bill and Hillary.
There was
what about the emails?
There was someone who had a response tweet to this rant. I think it was this one. It might have been another one. But it basically said, I'll be really happy when the election campaign is over.
He's like, you know, I may have just invaded Yemen, but what about Hillary's emails?
Right, exactly.
Don't look at the whole Yemen thing. Jeez, what about Bill? And what about the Clinton Foundation?
What about Mike Pence's email? I mean, sorry, not Mike Pence's emails, Hillary's emails. Did I say Mike Pence's emails? I didn't mean Mike Pence.
Do you know something we don't about what the Russians have?
What's that?
Do you have something? Do you know something we don't about what the Russians have there, Michael?
Well, I just heard that Mike Pence had a private email server when he was working as governor of Texas or whatever.
Oh yes, he did.
I think the Russians have got Mike Pence. They've got his pants.
What?
All right, next one.
I get it. Mike's pants.
They've got Mike Pence.
Okay. Oh wait, I've got to do the special magic thing. Okay, now we're back.
Ba-da-ba-ba-bum.
So the House Freedom Caucus was able to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory after so many bad years. They were ready for a win. Not really much to say about that, except he has to figure out how to work with them. That's not very interesting one. Next one. The Democrats will make a... Oh, this one's good. The Democrats will make a deal with me on healthcare as soon as Obamacare folds. Not long. Do not worry. We're in very good shape. That reminds me of that meme. That meme that is like, this is fine. Like, everything's on fire.
The little dog.
I'm pretty sure everything will just work out hunky-dory, guys. I love that.
Has he got two spaces between very and good? It looks like there's too much space in between there.
Yeah, there is. It's like, I've been stabbed in the liver and I'm bleeding out, but stuff's looking good. I'm going to be perfectly fine. I don't need a doctor. I'm pretty sure the Democrats are not going to want to work with him. They're going to be like, fuck you. Hopefully. Unless they're really bad. Bad, not good.
Well, the
and
Democrats
next one.
Actually, okay.
Sorry.
I'll talk about it in the wrap up. I'll talk about it in the wrap up.
And this is a good one because actually I fact checked this one. Big announcement by Ford today. Major investment to be made in 3 Michigan plants. Car companies coming back to the US. Jobs, jobs, jobs! Well, I actually looked into this. So I looked this up, and it said that this was part of a 2015 contract with United Auto Workers. So this was actually a deal made under Obama in 2015 with car unions. So it wasn't anything to do with Trump. And it says it will create 180 jobs in Michigan in 3 plants. And other people have pointed out 180 jobs in 3 plants. While that's nice, that's not like jobs, jobs, jobs. That's just 180 jobs.
Yeah, that's way more than 3 jobs.
And it's a very, what's an extremely large, massive economy. And it's only in Michigan. It's only in 3 plants. It's not like some kind of huge jobs deal that's going to like save the economy. It's like, all right, you made 180 jobs. That's very nice, but it's not that many.
There was another thing a while back I remember seeing about...
Unions made it in 2015, so I gave him too much credit just then. I apologize.
There was a thing a while back that I remember seeing about Trump, talking about bringing jobs back to America, and he was doing he did something to do with like an air conditioning company or something that had been previously in Mexico, had moved to Mexico or was planning to move to Mexico or something, and he did something to make it so that they would stay. And so he invested a whole bunch of money in it or something or other. And he was like, I'm bringing so many jobs. And it was like 20 jobs, and he spent all this money on it. And it was like, okay, great, you bought back like 100 jobs, great, but it's
Well,
not.
I mean, like 180 jobs, that's nice, but it's a drop in the ocean, and it should also say at the end of the street, thanks, Obama.
Exactly.
Thanks to
Thanks,
Obama, I just
Obama.
bought 180. Well, Obama bought 180 jobs. Time for me to take credit. Yay.
On that, do you guys know, either of you, and it's, it's okay if you don't because it's a random fact, but how many full-time permanent jobs longer than 2 or 3 years will be as a result of the Keystone, the XL pipeline?
7?
All of them?
There's a guess.
35.
10.
35.
Oh, okay.
35.
There we go.
All that environmental, but yeah. So again, it's like
Winning.
jobs. No, Keystone will have some building jobs. They'll go away. Anyway, Tim.
I think that's it for me. Yeah.
No.
That's it.
No, there is this.
Oh, that's just like daylight savings. that was us trying to coordinate this hangout. Hello, me. It's Potato Man. Back on your screen.
He looks like
Rory.
Garfield. He looks like Garfield, his eyes.
Mm.
A little bit.
I hate Mondays.
I see that.
Oh, I hate them.
Well, it makes sense because it would be Rory Cats, wouldn't it? If you took Kevin and Rory Cats and a potato and Garfield and you put them together.
Yep.
But do you know what I think?
Put a bunch of pubic hair on them and put them in an oven.
You know what I think Trump should do? I think Trump should just rename Obamacare to Trumpcare, and then overnight he'd be able to say, Trumpcare's doing great. Look at all of the people we've got insured. This is fantastic. They'll be like, dude, it's just Obamacare and just change its name. He'd be like, shut up, sad.
So
It's a good deal. It's fantastic.
tries to bring down my new healthcare bill.
It's fabulous. I made this healthcare bill. Like, no, it was Obama. Shut up. It's Trumpcare. Seriously,
Well,
if he changed
that's-
Obamacare to Trumpcare, just change the name overnight, he'd be praising it and just saying how fabulous it is. It's the greatest.
Yeah, you just saved a bunch of people, millions of people, from getting it taken away from them.
Look at how many
true
people I
story.
gave insurance. But that was Obama.
Use reverse psychology on the Freedom Caucus, man.
Okay, now what are we up to?
I
Is
think
it
we're up
me?
to Michael, aren't we?
Okay.
I think it is.
I just realized when you guys started doing your things that I haven't really dated my stuff or have it in any specific order, so I'm just going to say it. And it's stuff from the last.
You didn't watch. You've never seen an episode of Trump Dump, have you?
No, I did watch. I'm
Didn't pay attention.
unorganized. I'm unorganized and not very
I
good.
just wanna
I'm
say,
also
Michael, we all
a
had the
feminist
same amount of
shield,
time
so-
to prepare for this, and Tim and I have visual aids. I'm just going to point this out for the next time we decide to take over Kevin's content.
You
You
guys
know,
have-
like
you guys
we have
have
to make
AIDS?
the case.
What's that?
We have to make the case for this, man. We're going to take the show over. It's going to be our show now.
Yeah, it's a government takeover of the Trump Dump.
Union.
Well, I have a list. I have a list and I have a whole bunch of articles. So I'm going to read through what I have, and you guys can tell me if I did a good job or not. I also
Yeah.
have.
Can you just tell me one thing? What kind of order are they currently in? Alphabetical?
It's
Whatever?
mostly by date. It's mostly by
Okay.
earliest to latest, but it may not be exactly like that.
Do it now!
Okay,
Do
so
it!
so I do have a date on this one, the 29th of March. The federal government has extended its deadline for companies to bid on the first contracts for Donald Trump's proposed border wall in Mexico. So I read, the article that I read, it made it out to be like this kind of reality TV show, kind of the little headline's actually kind of funny. It's proposal deadline is first step in process that combines 3 of president's most successful ventures: pageants, reality TV competitions, and xenophobia. And so it's I think the building of the wall is trying to be outsourced to companies, and they have to put forward their ideas for the wall. And there's certain things things they have to have as part of the wall that they design, for it to meet the standard, quote unquote standard, that they can before to get chosen, right? And so a bunch of people are putting forward these walls, and there was one in here which I thought was kind of cool, but she reckons that she won't get chosen because it's not, it doesn't meet the standards, but it was like a virtual wall, an invisible virtual wall that they create using like AI software and satellite surveillance and things like that, rather than making a physical wall.
Does it also
Which, you know,
stop
what's that?
Does it also stop chemtrails?
Yes, it does that too. So there's an article about that. You know, so but apparently, like yesterday, sorry, the 29th of March was the official deadline, but it's been extended to next week. So people still have time to. So if you guys have got ideas for walls, you know, go ahead, put your proposals in, because you've got a week to do so. What else we got? This one doesn't have a date. The White House. Oh yeah, here we go. The White House signaled Trump's clear intentions to sign a repeal of the ruling Obama signed that was designed to give consumers greater control over how their ISPs could share information. So Obama signed, I think he signed an executive order of some sort. He signed some sort of thing. I don't understand government. Anyway, so he signed this thing to try and limit how internet service providers could, you know, like sell information about their customers to, you know, advertising agencies and things like that. So, you know, trying to
Typical
prevent that.
libtard.
I know, bar. So that was gonna be good and make it so that, you know, companies like Comcast, Verizon, and AT&T could not sell your like could not you know, like sell your browsing behavior or whatever to advertisers without your own consent. And now Trump, he hasn't signed anything yet, but there was this Congressional Review Act thing, which was voted on in the House of Representatives, and it passed, voted 215 to 205 approve, and so that means that Trump can now repeal that ruling now, to make it so that big telecommunications companies and cable companies can sell all your private information to people. So that's nice.
Cool.
Thanks for that, Trump.
Good news.
So, like I say, he hasn't done that yet, but it seems like he has an intention to do so. So, you know. Okay, so on March the 30th, Trump had this. He did an address to, I think, it's coming to the end of like Awesome Women's Month or some shit like that, and he he had a speech addressing women's empowerment event. He was at a women's empowerment event, and he did this speech about how great women were. So one of the things that he said, which was stupid, was he said that my cabinet is really full of incredible women leaders. He has 6 women in his cabinet out of the 24. So that's what, a quarter of his cabinet.
It's like 50%.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
That's like a whole 90%. Yeah.
Alternative maths.
Yeah. So he said that, and it was kind of stupid. But I mean, I suppose you could read it another way, that he wasn't literally saying full. You know, like it's not literally full. It's just one of those things that you say. He's like, oh, it's full of great. Well, my mic is being weird. I apologize. Is it being really crackly
It's
and
kind
weird?
of like Full House with a quarter of the cast members.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the worst.
Okay.
Semi-full house.
And then he said this thing, because he was talking about various women in American history who've helped to shape America, and he said this thing. He goes, what did he say exactly about Susan B. Anthony? Yeah, he was like, have you heard of Susan B. Anthony? I haven't got a good Trump impersonation anyway, and I can't believe, I'm shocked that you've heard of her. You know. And then all these people were like, "Are you kidding me?" It's one of the tweets that someone said, you know, when they say, "Oh, here we go, Trump code. Have you heard?" Quote, "Have you heard?" Unquote. And a lot of people don't know equals I just found out. So it's as if someone had literally just before the speech told Trump about Susan B. Anthony, and he was like, "Wow, she sounds cool. I better talk about her." So,
well,
so that was kind of
I don't know. To be fair-ish, I don't know if it's fair. I did get the impression that was just a really shit joke. You know, he was trying to make a joke, and no one got it. They were just like, "What? What do you mean?
Wow,
Yeah,
that's really
he just does that
generous.
thing though, where he's like, "Have you heard
Although-
of this?"
Yeah, I gotta
Yes,
say though, he
before.
probably hasn't heard of Susan B. Anthony. I
Mm.
also think that's probably true, but I think he probably heard of her and then decided to make a joke, and then the joke
Yes.
sucked. Everyone's like,
But he-
we don't know what you're talking about.
He did this with Dubois last month. With he implied that he was still alive.
Lord
Yeah,
knows
that's
who he's
right.
actually heard of. It's really
That's
hard
right.
to know. Like,
but he did
whoa, how
say-
about this Martin Luther King guy? We all
Yeah.
know him, right?
Do we know-
He's doing great things. He's fantastic. Like, wait, he's dead. Oh, I knew that. I know he's
Jesus.
dead.
I know he's dead. What are you talking about? Of course I knew that. He
I
died.
swear, yeah.
Yeah, I was at his funeral. I knew that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. So next, companies challenge Trump's opposition to climate change laws. So I think you guys brought up the climate change thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was just an article about companies that supported the climate change law that Trump wants to oppose. Kind of speaking out against Trump. So that was kind of cool. So the Hawaii judge that refused, this is the next one. Hawaii judge that put a block on Trump's travel ban 2.0 has refused to overturn the block, creating much controversy. Apparently, I know what a cuck. So he said, State Attorney General says revising ban is a neon sign flashing Muslim ban. As judge rules interjection on executive order must stay in place. So yeah, this guy this Hawaii judge who's blocked the executive order is not standing down. So good for him. So that's kind of cool. So Ivanka Trump is being taken on as an unpaid White House employee after facing controversy for this.
Insane.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking stupid. So she's going in as a after ethics companies and all that sort of stuff have spoken out about having his daughter in the White House. She's all like, "Nah, I'll be totally ethical. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine." So
It's going to be the most
She's-
ethical thing ever. Believe me.
we get so tired of ethics that
Oh yeah, right after his, because his son is briefing him on his business,
Yeah.
quarterly.
It's like it's this thing called, ethics and other things. We know about this, right? We love this, right?
Have you
Ethics.
heard of this thing?
There'll be-
Have you heard of? It's amazing. This new thing. A lot of people don't know about ethics.
This thing called ethics.
there'll be so much
It's
ethics.
really-
There'll be so much ethics that you'll just get sick of being ethical.
Golden
get
is
sick of
obvious
being-
ethics. Christine.
So yeah, following
And she's a
criticism
wonderful
from
woman. She's
ethics
wonderful.
Following criticism from ethics experts, Ivanka Trump will become an official government employee working as an unpaid advisor to her father in the White House alongside her husband. So yeah, she's working in there with her husband, who's Trump's son-in-law, obviously, and
Doing work.
Trumples. So that's just like, what?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, here's a statement. It says Ivanka responded to the criticism by taking the former role. She said in a statement, "I have heard the concerns. I've heard the concerns. Some have with me advising the president in my personal capacity while voluntarily complying with all
It's
ethics
the
rules."
president, not daddy.
I know, my daddy. And I will instead serve as an unpaid employee of the White House office, subject to all the same rules as other federal employees. So, yeah, so that's a thing. Okay. Trump tweeted. Can I share this tweet? Because it's weird when I read it. Let me a second. Here we go.
Yeah,
Screen
if you-
share.
Yep, screen share. That's all you have to do.
I'm just gonna make it so that you don't see all my other Pornhub tabs. There we go. It's me. So Trump tweeted about the failing New York Times as a disgrace to the media world. Gotten me wrong for 2 solid years. Change libel laws? Question mark.
Got me wrong. God, what is
I
he?
love how
Southern?
he's- oh Jesus! He's like, the laws are in place. These laws are in place to prevent certain things or whatever, and they're obviously not being broken. but he wants to change them so that they will be broken. That's just the most ridiculous thing ever. I'm like, what?
He wants
That was the point of having laws if you're just going to change them so that they will work in your favor. That's fucking stupid.
Well, see, it used to be the case that you'd worry about somebody misusing the power of the government to like attend to you or silence you. But what Trump wants to be able to do is just financially ruin you if you criticize him.
Can I offer my Sargon analysis?
Go on then.
Yeah.
The media has had this coming on themselves. They've spent so many years attacking Trump and thinking that they're better than everyone else. It's about time they paid. It's about time that they had to suffer for their choices. Would you let the media get away with this? If I was Sargon, that's what I'd say.
Can you do some of the Bernie meltdown too?
Fucking, it's a woman's march, Bernie! There we go. Even though it was unrelated.
You need to like slam the desk. Hold on. Like that.
Fuck your desk! Fuck
Blow it up! You blew it up!
Yeah, my desk sucks too. Wall. I can't get any sound. Damn it. You must have a really
To
thin
be an
desk.
internet shitlord, you have to have a really solid desk.
But no, like the Trump supporters really hate the media, as much or more as Trump. So whenever he says he's going to do something horrible to the media, they're just like, they deserve it. They had it coming. It's fantastic. That's great.
It's funny that
Should
all
they
the
have some
shitlords
concern
are...
about the freedom of the press and the ability to question the powerful? No. Basically, it's kind of like Schadenfreude as well. Like, yes, they have it coming.
And
Well,
that's-
Sargon is
disgusting media.
Sargon is news now, so he better watch out.
reading
might get
news is
censored.
not reporting news.
Well, I think he's
Someone
news. So long he's news, so long as he doesn't criticize Trump. If one day he wakes up and decides to criticize Trump, then he'll have it coming if he gets shut down. That fucking bastard questioning Emperor Trump. Disgusting.
On that issue.
And when you say reading, you use that in a very loose sense, right? I mean, because he does read stuff, I suppose.
It's more like getting a vibe.
He reads it
Sort
out
of.
loud when he reads.
Getting
Yeah.
kind of a vibe about something. It's more like that. He just sort of
Getting kind of
vibes
an
out.
MSN vibe right now.
But on a more serious note, the issue, like being able to use the courts because you have a lot of money to squash somebody who says something you don't like is, again, this sort of like moving away from an area where we have rights. So when you move things into the marketplace, unless the government regulates it, you're not as protected. And handing over, for instance, like your browser histories, allow the government allowing private companies to sell that information. That's an invasion of your privacy. But you can't, if you found out that your information had been sold and for whatever reason it turned out badly for you, or something you didn't want that happening. I don't want people looking at my browser history, and I understand even if you're not ashamed of it. It's the principle of the thing. It's like I don't voluntarily give my DNA to the police either. I don't think so. It's an issue of where do we have where are our privacy lines? And when the government breaks this down and hands it over into the private market, you don't really have recourse. When you a government. Sorry, let me just finish this. There was a talk about how secret information is handled, and if there were employees who looked up like some famous person's passport just to see what their photo was, they were fired. And that happens because they're public employees, and that kind of stuff is open to scrutiny. But those protections don't exist in the private sector.
But I also think this sides-based short-sightedness about what the president is doing, it does affect both sides, because a lot of people were very silent when Obama was expanding like executive power around like doing drone strikes and when the NSA and other groups in the government were eroding private citizens' right to privacy and that kind of thing. A lot of people didn't complain about that at all, and left alone. Now those powers have been passed on to Trump. But now that people like Trump, when he says I'm going to erode like the freedom of the press and that kind of thing, people who support Trump are saying that's great, fantastic.
Well, I remember people freaking out. I personally remember lots of people freaking out about the NSA stuff and Congress having to hold hearings. I don't hear the same people freaking out about this.
Well, I'm talking more about just like the general people criticizing Obama. Like I felt like it was a bit muted on that. So I felt like, okay, he's expanding executive power, but he's going to pass it on to the next president, who happens to be Trump. The people right now who are cheering about Trump taking on the press, they need to realize that one day Trump will not be president. Someone you don't like will be president, and they will be handed on the powers from Trump to take down the press. And all of a sudden, the Sargons of the world and all the people who are so gloating right now will be like, oh shit, a president we hate now has this power. And that's the problem. It's kind of a slippery slope when you keep expanding the executive power.
No, I was actually thinking.
A person you don't like is going to get those powers.
I was thinking earlier
Basically.
when Trump organizes to declare the state of emergency, this broadcast is why I won't be able to get back into the country.
Well, just wait till I don't know, president, like the second cousin of Justin Trudeau is president, and then he's got these powers. And every time you call him a cuck, like he puts some kind of black mark against your website, then you're going to complain. You know, and then suddenly all of this shit that you're celebrating about Trump destroying the press won't look so rosy because it won't be your side. I mean, you are liberals who love Trump, who are
The media
apparently
deserves
still
it, man,
liberals.
for waging war against YouTube. They deserve that shit.
Exactly.
They started the war against YouTube, so they deserve to be taken down.
You know, I don't understand this free speech warrior idea of like, I'm going to put aside all of my principles about how the press should be treated in a free society because I hate the press and I love Trump. It's just you have no principles left. You don't care about free speech. Stop fucking lying. Anyways, that's
maybe what the media can do to help is to cover Justin Trudeau as much as they cover Trump, just to balance it out with like a sane person who's a leader with good motivations and has like respect. And then it would be good because Americans would feel calm knowing that there's one, not very far away in Canada, everything is okay. And then also they learned a lot about Canada.
I watched,
but I would never say, because I hate Trump and he's taking down the press or whatever, and that's bad, then I think someone I do like should also take down the press so that I feel good about myself. Like that's not principled. It's just ridiculous. I think the press should be free. Anyways.
Last night I watched the first time Peter Coffin, is that the guy's name?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So
I mean, if it sounds the way it's spelled, then yeah. If
yeah,
not, I'm gonna have problems with English.
Just part of the video that he did was his talking about the extremely close correlation between media coverage and people's impressions of those people, and like how much free press and how much free exposure Trump got as compared to everyone else in the media, and and how that correlated to people's impressions of him, and the same with other people, like with Hillary and with I thought that was kind of interesting. It was
hell, I think the media was not harsh enough on Trump. They should have been harsher.
Yeah.
People who love Trump are like, the media lied about him and they were so mean and they were so cruel. But I think if they were being super realistic, every day they would have said, this guy is fucking incompetent. He's a mess. He should not be the president. He's a fucking joke. So I think they should have been harsher. If it was my world, they would have been less kind to him, not more.
I saw a really fascinating piece on MSNBC. This was hosted by Steve Kornacki, and I went looking for it afterwards, and I couldn't find it. But there's some political scientists who organize this idea, and they have a play now where a woman plays Trump's part and a man plays Clinton's part. And they showed the play, and they take a segment of about 5 minutes about Russia, and they reenact it. So the woman has basically looks like a woman, obviously, but she talks like Trump in his voice. She even sort of snorts when she inhales, when he does during the debates. And the guy is like got Clinton's mannerisms and her tone down and everything. And they showed it to Clinton voters because, they wanted to see what the difference would be in terms of their perceptions. And afterwards, the Clinton voters said, now I get it. Like, now I see how the way that he talks in very basic language and kind of wanders around a point so you can't really remember what's going on. All of these things, it's very emotive and it's very basic. And they're like, okay.
Where can we see this?
Yeah.
Facts of the fields.
What I would say is if you go to MSNBC, I tried looking for it literally the next day because I wanted to tweet it out and put it on my Facebook page. But it was Steve Kornacki. If you do political scientist, play Clinton, Trump, man, woman, or something like that, maybe it'll come up. But it might be because it's from the play that they wouldn't let them put it out on television. But hopefully it was delayed by a day and a half or something. So
cool. Anyway, so what are we up to in terms of the days? I think it started turning into a rambly hangout.
Whose fault is that, Tim?
Mine.
Jesus, Tim. Jesus.
It's the media's fault.
Mate, keep your demotivator opinions to yourself, and let's talk about the issues. Hey, the next thing on my list.
Talk about the issues.
my next thing on the list, I just wanted to share real quick because so it was the first 100 days of Trump, but just the thing at the top was kind of funny. So this here, so we have number of tweets is 724, meters of wall built 0. I just think that's fucking hilarious, and the rest of the stuff. So that was the next thing on my list. Okay, now and then what else we got?
Easy.
I have a
Number of
long list.
Obamacares repealed 0.
0. Number of ISISes defeated 0. Oh, okay. So, what was it say? Yeah. So there's lawyers say defamation lawsuit brought by former contestant Summer Zervos should be barred as a distraction, as it may distract the president from performing his duties. So this woman so first of all, she tried to sue Trump for like sexual harassment or whatever back during his campaign, and then that either didn't work out, it didn't go through or whatever, and Trump said a lot of things about her during his campaign that she believed was defamation, and so now she's trying to sue Trump for defamation because of all the awful things that she said, saying that she's a liar and all this sort of shit. And so she is now bringing in a defamation lawsuit against Trump. And lawyers are saying that they're citing a thing that happened back when Clinton was president. There was some lawsuits brought against him, and there was a court case that resulted in those being thrown out because the lawsuit would distract the president from doing his duties or something like that. And so they are bringing up this court case to try and get rid of this defamation case as well. So that's interesting. So he may or may not be sued for defamation. Who knows? There was this stuff about because the investigation into some Russian stuff started during my time as well, and he said, okay, so lead Democrat accuses White House of distracting from Trump-Russia inquiry. Adam Schiff, the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, is deeply concerned by a report that two in administration helped Devin Nunes view classified material. The top Democrat in the House Intelligence Committee has accused the White House of cloak and dagger tactics after a day of deepening confusion around the ongoing investigation into Russian interference in the presidential election. So that has started, and one of the investigators is kind of like, oh shit, these guys are being kind of dicks about it. So that is also interesting. I'm just going to say that after everything.
It's huge. It might bring down his administration.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh geez. Side note, I would have called him Devin Nunes because if no one had told me it was Nunes, I would have just been like, no.
Yeah, the newscasters were calling him Nunez for a couple days, and like, no, it's just Nunes. There's no Y in there. It's not Spanish.
Yes, that's funny. Okay, so this other article about how to just let me 1 second. It was to do with Trump. Oh yeah, so Trump's. What did I write here? Russian deception influenced election due to Trump's support, senators here. A former FBI special agent discusses Russia's long-standing active measures, including the spreading of fake news before the Senate Intelligence Committee. I can't read. Donald Trump's willingness to embrace Russian disinformation was one of the reasons Russia's interference in the 2016 election worked. The Senate panel investigating the president's alleged ties to the country heard on Thursday. Wittingly or not, Trump and his former campaign manager Paul Manafort embraced and promoted narratives, including false ones, convenient to Russia's interests. I can't read, including a fake story about a terrorist attack on the Turkish airbase at Incirlik, used by U.S. forces, and basically doubting the U.S. citizenship of Barack Obama and Ted Cruz. So this article and the things that they're saying in this investigation are that there were people hired in Russia their job was to create actual fake news and fake propaganda and all that sort of stuff, and spread it to the world and influence. There was a bit here, that would influence certain parts of the country to believe things about various candidates, and they're saying that Trump and his people, willingly or not, allowed that to happen. Didn't either embraced that false information or just didn't kind of quell it. So that's a little bit suspicious. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. This, I have another screen share. This is freaking the best thing ever. Holy shit. Hold on, let me. This somebody created a robot that prints out Trump's tweets and then burns them.
Cool.
So just watch this little video here. Prints out the little tweet, chops it off.
Do it.
Is he gonna do it?
Do
Chops
it
it off,
now.
grabs it, turns it around, and then lights it on fire.
Yay! And then safely disposes of it.
It's childish,
amazing?
but it feels good.
Oh my god, it's so good. And it's just done it. He just does it to a whole bunch of. So there's that the account there giving Trump's tweets the attention they deserve. Just printing off
Nice.
Trump tweets and burning them. So that was kind of cool. Right.
Well, I hope it
so
doesn't
that's
lead
interesting.
to a horrible house fire.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you said it's disposing of them thoughtfully. So that's good.
Because maybe that's the next news story. It's like man burns down house while burning Trump
Yeah.
tweets.
Running
Like,
off
oh
in the
dear.
middle of the night. And Trump got up really early, and his machine went mad.
Like I forgot to put the bowl. I forgot to put the bowl there, and it just burnt the
But,
desk.
well,
And oh god.
Yeah, someone came over and they needed a cigarette tray, so I gave it to him and I forgot to put it back. Ah, shit.
Well, they actually call them. I mean, maybe they always call them tweet storms, but they refer to it was another Trump tweet storm.
Jesus.
Oh,
another-
Donald Trump freak out, basically.
Do you have another story, Michael?
Like he woke up like, got a tweet. Got a...
Don't you worry. So
I'm going to
this
give you a
is-
tip. Wait, before you start, stop. So the key to reading is and not tumbling is to go slower, and
Okay.
actually put on the newsreader voice a little bit. It actually helps.
okay,
So
okay.
give it a go with this one.
Hello and welcome to Trump Dump. This in this edition of Trump Dump. So Donald Trump has issued an ultimatum to the hard right of the Republican Party, warning them to get on the team or face consequences at the ballot box. The US president tweeted today, "The Freedom Caucus will hurt the entire Republican agenda if they don't get on the team, comma, ampersand, fast." What? He put a
Sad.
comma and then an and.
Not good.
Jesus Christ. We must fight, comma, ampersand, Dems, comma, in 2000. This guy can't write. Jesus Christ. So he basically like I say, it said at the beginning, he issued an ultimatum to the Freedom Caucus, and says that we must fight the Freedom Caucus and the Republican, the Democrats in 2008. So that's interesting. That's my
There you go.
catchphrase.
And you did that without a stumble.
Thank you. See, I talk fast in general anyway, and so I just don't even think about it, and then I talk a whole bunch and blah blah blah. Blah. So
But for reading it makes it harder.
okay, cool.
I
I
love
got
the
it. I
hard
told you
way.
I can't read. So here we go. Sean Spicer feels great. Trump feels great about spending heaps of money in Mar-a-Lago. So there was this thing about Trump complaining about Obama going golfing all the time, and he has gone golfing like 12 times in his time in office. And then so there was just a Sean Spicer press briefing. Is that what he does? And he was asked about how Trump feels about spending so much money in Mar-a-Lago, and Sean Spicer said Trump feels great about it. And there was a thing that I had a little chart thing, but I can't remember where that was, about how much Trump has spent so far on his trips to Mar-a-Lago, as opposed
10
to
billion, trillion,
it's just a
gajil-
fucking obscene amount of money. You know,
Like Googleplex? That's probably
been there a
Googleplex.
lot. Yeah, he's been there a lot, and he golfs a lot, and it's just ridiculous. So that's and okay. So and my last thing that I have here.
Oh, just before you
is-
do that, I want to say, Michael, when
Hmm.
you started that bit, you said Sean Spicer feels great, and then you corrected yourself and said Trump feels great. And I thought you were going to say that Sean Spicer had felt up Donald Trump and he felt really great. And I was, and then you were
I
talking
didn't
about
think-
money, but now I can't get that image out of my head of Sean Spicer
Sean
like giving him a
Spicer
little.
says Trump feels great. He feels really good.
Oh, God, he feels great.
Hubba hubba. Hey Donnie,
Oh,
how you
baby.
doing?
Oh, baby. Okay, so my last thing is so this tweet, which I thought was kind of funny and kind of stupid. Let me have a look. He tweeted this. I swear there was something that he tweeted last night that I got that I've missed. Anyway, so there's this. Only by enlisting the full potential of women in our society will we truly be able to hashtag make America great again. So on the surface, this seems like a good sentiment. Great, that's awesome. Good for you, Mr. Trump. But when you think about it, it's like if we're making America great again, we're going back to a time in the past, and that makes no sense when women have historically been oppressed. You want to
Great.
But he's
Well,
saying that we
awesome.
need to empower women, but we can't go back to a time when women were disempowered. It just makes no sense.
But can you go back to the picture? Because I think there was a grammatical error. I think he spelled something wrong.
He's just
there.
using alternative words, guys.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
Michael, if you talk, I'll lock it on you.
Here we go.
Right.
Here we go.
Um,
Only by
Right.
enlisting the full potential of women in our society will we
Oh,
truly will we be truly able to hashtag make America great again.
so I
White
didn't realize.
women.
I didn't realize that was a video. I thought it was a picture because the first thing on there is a bunch of men and then Trump standing next to an attractive blonde. Yeah, I was like, okay, but the potential of woman, because women or women, just one, because I only saw one woman in that picture.
That's funny.
If we go through, is there a single non-white woman, or is it just only white people? Because it was
back
quite,
then?
it was quite jarring. Because like when you saw the Obama stuff, it was like very diverse. There's a lot of people of different races and cultures, and
A lot of
I saw
white.
one
There's a
black
lot of whiteness there. White. There's a lot of white keys there.
perhaps one Asian
There's-
woman there.
There's an orange man.
Ivory.
There's an orange American
White and
with
yellow.
a tiny penis and small hands. Talking about his penis being
there's a-
tiny.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
There-
Okay.
There's one
Okay,
black
this
lady.
is kind of like a bit of
What?
shade. This is shade or two.
There's.
Could be
Mm.
worse.
Pretty snowy white though.
Tiny
Wow,
hands,
that's
yeah.
loud. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, it's still very kind
Pretty
of pale.
fucking
Yeah.
white. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
All right. So a certain type of woman.
Yeah, what was that
And
tweet
Harriet
that I
Tubman. You heard of her? You heard of this? You heard of this
Have you
Tubman?
heard of-
She's amazing. She's
Yeah,
a
she's
lot
amazing.
of
She
people
did
say
this.
she's getting better. Like a lot of people are hearing more about her.
She's doing these
Oh, that's
things
good.
like she's like slavery and things like this. It's great. Fantastic.
Actually, I think that might have been the tweet that I found.
You guys heard of this Underground Railroad?
No.
See, that's what happens when you deregulate. When you deregulate, that's what happens. You get innovation.
That's
Yeah, so that's,
it's not racist. It's called the White House for a reason. Good comment
Lol.
from Grumble Floof.
Right.
Grumble
Well,
Floof is
Good old
great.
Grumble Floof.
That's going to be a really annoying name to have to type in.
Hmm.
Kevin just
Log
said
in.
there's only one woman for Donald, Ivanka. Ugh.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now she's
Oh.
I think he spends more time with his daughter than his wife.
But have you
Yeah,
seen
it
that
said that,
body?
More.
He's never been to. Oh, that's right. Because the thing I was reading about his spending habits is one of the things that's so much is it's like $500,000 a day for the security around the penthouse in in Manhattan for his wife and their young son, and so
Yeah, and that's just to
a
protect
lot
them
of
from
money.
him.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money, but he's never been there. He's never visited that
Because there's
that
too much
place of
security. You
residence.
can't get in.
Oh,
Yeah, he has to leave his cell phone at the door, so he can't tweet while he's in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they've got the New York housing, the White House, and the Mar-a-Lago weekends, like weekends a month.
Yeah, and they also said like there was a thing about how it's very difficult. It's much more much more complex security wise to do the things that Trump is doing, like going to Mar-a-Lago and whatnot, as opposed to like Bush's ranch in Texas and
Camp David.
Obama had a thing somewhere.
Well, they had that
is
wonderful
which
moment.
he went to.
That wonderful moment at that restaurant when he was hanging out with like Shinzo Abe, who is the prime minister of Japan. They're like, oh my god, like North Korea is saber rattling. Like, oh, quick, form a circle. Let's have a meeting. Like, maybe we should get all these people out of here. Like, this is a very public place.
Lol.
But I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, this is the first time I've done something like this. Why are we in a public restaurant?
He does very much seem to be flying by the seat of his pants.
He's highly, highly, highly incompetent. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's just obvious.
Yeah,
God, it's ridiculous.
Like shocking levels of it's just shocking levels
Yes, like shocking levels of incompetence.
Well,
Anyway,
I mean-
so this is going to be the longest dump of Trump that has existed thus far.
Well, Kristi did that one with Kevin one time, and it was like an hour long.
This is longer
Was
than
it?
an hour.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's probably because
But-
I
well,
took
you
so
know-
much fucking time.
So
I
I
think
just
this
want to
is
say,
the greatest Trump dump of all time, to be honest.
I think so. I mean, I had brilliant time. I had a lot of fun on doing this, and you
It's
know,
the
but,
best.
Kevin lives.
We don't
in
even
the
need
UK.
Kevin anymore. Like, Kevin should just quit.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Yeah, I think
Right,
you
We
should
don't even need him.
give it up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there are
Superfluous.
squatting laws in the UK, and I just think we should just declare ourselves as squatting on this show, and then we're just going to take it over.
Yeah, well,
We're
I think Kevin
occupying.
kind of jumped the shark a little bit, and I think that we've really improved on the formula. I mean, there's more of us. It
Yeah.
just makes it kind of nicer, you know. I mean,
Occupy
obviously,
Kevin.
I'm very attractive.
Let's get it trending. Occupy Kevin.
Occupy Kevin hashtag, not free Kevin hashtag Occupy Kevin. And you saw how look at all this. Like, you know, I was doing the audio visuals. I was like, you know, doing the screens. I was just like, we're so professional.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
There's things
When
like
I-
professionalism.
I need to go get something to drink. I can go when Tim starts talking, and I'll come back 3 minutes later, and he'll still be going. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just a much more efficient process, right?
And there's no Rory cats continuously interrupting it and with
Meow.
demands for chicken.
That's true. It's just gonna be your cat.
Yeah, he's vegan. No,
Balthazar hates me.
that's true. Well,
does
you
hate
did
me.
try to. This is
What?
like okay. This
What?
shit is completely unrelated to Trump now. Now we're
I tried
just
to give
going
him
off.
pets. Yeah, I know we are.
We totally failed at this. We were gonna. It was gonna be so, focused,
Concise in
razor
focus. Yeah.
focused.
That was always your goal. That was your goal, Tim.
just-
No one else expected.
I was
to be
like-
focused.
I was like, we got to make this professional, guys. The whole world will be
I just
watching.
like talking to you guys. You know, it's cool. It's nice. It's nice talking to you guys just about stuff. So it's let's talk about Paul Joseph Watson. He's great.
We have a Trump to dump on.
That's it. So yeah, actually, now that we're kind of at the end of the show, do we want to just cut it off, or do we want to just go off and have a rant? I don't know
Well,
if it's
how does Kevin finish it?
Well, I don't know. He's in the chat, right? Because
That's all, Caucus.
bothered to be here.
Hmm.
We should ask.
You're all a
Potato
bunch
Kevin.
of misogynists. Goodbye.
I think he's probably fine with. He can download it to Mirror and just cut it off when we can do it. We can do an outro, and then just keep going.
Oh,
Okay, you do that, Michael, and I'll put the screen on myself. That way, it's the potato. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, it's the inevitable bit about rape. What?
This has been Trump Dump. Good night from all of us to all of you, and cut.
The final Trump down.
Last word.
There we go.
No!
Last.
That is the end of the show.
We're still fucking live.
I'm last.
So if you're
It's rigged.
no, I didn't turn it off. Now, I said we were going to do the outro. Does
The
nobody
system's
listen?
rigged.
We're going to do.
I thought we were going to go
Mr.
out
Russian.
on.
We're going to do it
I
live.
thought we were
We'll
going
do
to
it
go out on
live.
my.
Damn
We'll fix it in post. Fix it in post.
I don't know what that means. To play us? Okay.
And now we're just going to have Michael doing cover songs instead of with his guitar, with his mouth harmonica. That's
Kevin
gonna
should
be
never
the
have
rest.
asked for us to do this.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was such a bad mistake. Oh, wait, I'm
It's a
still
full-
locked on. Sorry. There we go. That's better. Now they can see you too.
All right, Kristi, wrap it up.
All right, okay.
I feel like I'm trapped in this hangout now.
All right,
me
well, you
out.
start, Tim. Give me an out. Give me your goodbye.
Let's take a final moment to appreciate the beard. Magnificent. Oh, yeah.
Look how glorious
Oh,
it is.
touch it. Oh, tug at it. Oh, God. And by the way, fuck Trump. Oh, my beard is good.
This is
That's
not
it.
normal. Michael, you say goodbye.
Goodbye,
The
Caucus.
f- and the fro.
Let's appreciate
Winters.
the foe.
All right,
Winters.
guys. I've been Kristi. This has been insane. You've been awesome. Thank you to my guests for such an entertaining evening. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.
Morning.
Or morning.
Bye.